How to grow food for free. In this video, I want to talk about how, and a little bit on why, I grew organic, nutrient-dense food for free, minus the cost of seeds. Most food in supermarkets was grown in increasingly poor soil, often with artificial and harmful chemicals. Even organic food often lacks the optimal nutrients that used to be in our food. Luckily, to grow your own, you only need what Mother Nature provides. In fact, look at the forest. There, things poop and die. That is broken down and used to make wonderful soil. Permaculture mimics this method. The method I'm explaining is better known as huglekultur. Plants need sun, water, and soil. The sun is the sun. This method uses water wisely. So let's talk about soil. It takes time to build soil. There are ways to speed it up, but I'll discuss that more in depth in another video. For now, I will cover two types of beds, raised beds and mounds. The basic idea is the same for both. I chose raised beds because I wanted a clean look to encourage those around me to garden. And I ran across free lumber. The advantage of a raised bed is more defined lines and better water retention. There's debate on the proper wood. Last I heard, the newer treated wood is safer than the older versions, but I just used what I had, which was untreated. I probably won't repair them when they rot. Instead, I will just let them turn into a mound. I went to a city hall meeting to speak about what I wanted to do. The mayor told me he was tearing down a house and I could have all the lumber I wanted. Score! The secretary told me they had been dumping wood chips next to city hall. These are wood chips that were delivered for free. They are fresh off the trimming trucks and take a while to break down to soil. When I went to the pile at the city, it was black gold. These had been there a while. Score of the century. I stocked up on as much as I could get a hold of. So first you want large logs. The older and more decomposed, the better the water retention and quicker they feed the microbes in the soil. The older logs also introduce mycelium, which is part of fungus that is great for healthy and living soil. Living soil is healthy soil. The fresh 2x4s in the pile are scraps from building the garden beds. They will simply break down later. You can find these materials almost anywhere. I simply drive around and look for what people put by the road or for the city to pick up. The best place for older material is in the forest or what is too old to burn. When you harvest from nature, be mindful not to take all the resources from one spot. Instead, harvest from multiple spots and leave some for the forest floor. Not all wood is the same either. Avoid black locust, black walnut, and old growth redwood. Then, you add increasingly smaller branches. Alternate greens and browns. Browns are carbons. This can be leaves, cardboard, junk mail, etc. Greens are nitrogen, grass clippings, or green plants. Coffee is brown, but it is a great nitrogen. This coffee came from Starbucks. Most coffee shops will gladly give you their coffee grounds. You can also add organic waste, dead animals like these fish, food waste, and even decomposed human manure. I'll cover human manure in a future video. Leaves are plentiful in the fall. I asked my neighbor for his before he burned them, and I feel a bit guilty taking such a garden treasure, but people are obsessed with getting rid of them. Also on that note, leaving your leaves on your lawn is not only good for the soil, it also provides habitat for butterflies and other soil critters. The last layer should be finished soil. I really lucked out finding these from the city. These chips must have been sitting there for 5 years or more. I know because of the color, the worm activity, and the grass that was growing in it. You want as much topsoil as what you are growing needs. For example, lettuce needs 4 to 6 inches, tomatoes need 12 to 18. Do not use Miracle-Gro or any other inorganic fertilizer, herbicide, pesticide, or fungicide, as this will harm the microbes in the soil. With smart planting methods like companion planting and other pest deterring methods, you will not even need them. Once I was done, I sent in soil samples with the extension service. It showed optimal levels minus urea. I used my own urine. I peed in a jar and used it in the soil. I did this until the plants were nice and green. Different plants can tolerate different levels. For example, asparagus can take direct urine. Other plants need to be diluted. I also have clean urine, no antibiotics or other medication. Here my neighbor went down instead of up. He dug down, then put his old logs in. Since my goal was to cover my whole lawn in a garden, I thought digging down was going to be too much work and I would be better off going vertical. Here's a mound I built for a friend. Here, I drove some green sticks down to keep the branches from sliding down so I could build the mound taller. Mounds require less initial work. Here, I simply picked up some logs and covered them with black gold. Easy. Tilling actually does more harm than good. Soil has delicate layers of insects and microbes, and tilling disrupts it. It also kills earthworms. Small engines are also hard on the environment and require maintenance. They are not needed. So for this load delivered right to my house, I put it between my beds after some cardboard. This keeps weeds at bay and also helps build the soil between the beds. These are my first hugel beds and they did amazing the first year. They usually increasingly get better and peak at 5 years, but when you find organic material that has been sitting for this long, the results are amazing, even in the first year. I found it much easier than traditional gardening. I rarely ever had to water once the plants were established. There were so few weeds, I actually found myself wanting to go find them so that I could use that as an excuse to spend time in the garden. Pest control was made easy with holistic methods, such as mixing in plants that deterred pests and attracted beneficial insects. I learned that wasps eat pests, ants break down the soil, and dragonflies eat mosquitoes. I also love to learn about soil health. I read a great book, Teeming with Microbes, and it gave me a wonderful sense of mastery as to what was going on underground. Early morning and nighttime is the best time to locate pests and their eggs. I took a lot of pictures, posted what I saw in a Facebook group, and never killed anything that I did not know what it was. Growing your own food is critical for an optimal life, and good food is medicine for your body and mind. Growing your own ensures you are eating the best that you can with the least effort.
We can grow our own carrots, we can grow our own carrots, we can grow our own carrots. The sprouts be right there, they be right there. We can grow our own carrots, we can grow our own carrots.
Turns out it is not only easy, but can be free with a bit of work up front. These beds only need a layer of compost added each year. Also, fields like these are killing our planet. They require chemicals and machines to grow, and that food that is grown needs to be shipped, which increases transportation costs. If these areas were used for holistic gardening, we would all be better off. Grow foods, not lawns. Gardening is therapeutic and is a great activity to build personal mastery and to strengthen your bond with family and friends. In my opinion, everyone should know how to garden, especially when it's so easy. Please like, subscribe, and share this video. My long-term goal is to build an intentional community for at-risk youth. Thank you for your support.
There's a hummingbird on my zinnias. Somebody asked me yesterday about hummingbird food, and I said, I don't want to give them sugar water. I want to plant flowers that bring them to the garden.